Brigitte.
Good morning, Klaus.
So great to see you
Nice to see you too.
in front of your fantastic Indian restaurant.
Yeah, micro restaurant.
Yes, it's the best food, Indian food, sur toute la Riviera. And I love to come here to eat here, and sometimes I come to read on your terrace.
Read and spend time. This is a place to be.
And we met for the first time already more than a year and a half ago. You founded an association. You run the restaurant. You have 2 more places over there. An open space in Épicerie. I don't know what's said in English, but can you talk a little bit about your activities?
Well, yes. I started working with a food truck on several markets in the area. Mainly Vevey, Montreux, then Ouchy, Angoul, and Saint-Maurice, and different towns. But finally, with a food truck, you're always moved about, and regular customers needed to know where they could find me and eat Indian food. So in 2015, opened this small restaurant, which was meant to be like a copy of the food truck, and especially of the small shops in India where you can eat in the streets, street food, Indian street food. And if you want, you can sit in the back in a small room and have a meal, just in a friendly way. So we did the work. There was nothing here, and had to do all the plans. This used to be my job in Spain. I used to work with architecture and building. So opened this place in 2015. At the same date that Gandhi came over to Villeneuve in 1931, which was December. So
Mahatma Gandhi came visit Villeneuve.
Yes.
You know why he passed?
Yes. Well, yes, he was a friend of Romain Rolland, who was a French philosopher, and he used to live in Villeneuve between the 2 wars. They used to correspond, and when Mahatma Gandhi was invited to speak at the Round Table in London for the Indian independence, he came from India to London and then passed by Paris and then came to Villeneuve before he led to Rome and back to India. So actually, it's London, Paris, and then Villeneuve.
It's great. It's a great place. Huh? Everybody talks about Montreux, which is just further down, 5 kilometers further down. But Villeneuve has its charm.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
There's great food here in Villeneuve, especially the Indian restaurant. And but you have 2 more places here. You have the open space, and you're selling spices.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then,
what's happening in the open space?
In the open space, we have conferences, meetings, and we can do yoga or different therapies. This is what it was meant to be. And we had different activities like workshops also. That was stopped during the restrictions in March 2020. But we kept on, especially when we met you, and started some meetings talking about different questions based on what we were living, actually, in our real life, which were changing all the time. Between March 2020 and now, things change all the time. And that was in 2019, I opened the open space, and 2017, in between, I opened the loose food shop, vrac shop. This is how it's called here in Switzerland, une épicerie en vrac, where I import my pulses and rice and different spices to have good quality products before cooking. And I grow my own vegetable. I did an Ayurvedic formation also.
I just moved to Villeneuve, actually, just a month or something like that before we met. And I always try to support the local businesses.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what's going on here.
This is my aim,
I was just discovering Villeneuve and I needed some spices. So I walked in and I saw you standing there, and we immediately had a connection.
Immediately, yeah.
And you had the idea invited me to come for evenings and to talk a little bit about what I see in reality as a medical practitioner, and then he organized these evenings where we had first 5 people, then 10 people, and we saw people coming actually from quite far away and sharing, not just listening to what I had to say, but also sharing their experiences, and I found it very interesting. So it became evenings where we just sharing all sorts of experiences. And you put that into place, and you gave it the name "Un médecin qui vous parle," a doctor who speaks to you.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, by the way, we had people coming from Geneva, from Sion, Valais, and Bern, but we even had people coming from France. They heard about, yeah.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, you're not aware, but now I just remember. And yes, it was very interesting that we named this Partage, and I purposely put the J instead of the G in French to say that we ought to share with one another our feelings, our experiences, our knowledge about different things, to help one another. And it was around the fact that we had the privilege to have a doctor working on the ground, meeting people that were getting sick. And I think this is the most important thing, because things don't happen in office, what I say, in front of a computer or a screen. And this is what happens here with the small restaurant takeaway.
What I liked so much about your attitude is this immediate taking action attitude. So there is no analyzing, can we do this, can we meet? Yeah, of course we accepted and respected the restrictions we had, but we just did it, right? We didn't think too much about it. And that's so beautiful when we saw it growing. And the other day I was walking in Vevey with a friend, and somebody came up and said, "Are you doing this atelier à Villeneuve?"
Oh, yeah.
And that's I said, "Yeah, sure, you just come in." And it's not a one-way discussion. I came up with some of my stories, I know, from Africa and other places I've worked, but it was this immediate action attitude that finally allowed us to move on.
Yes. And I think we need to continue with this, moving on, and just do it. We need to be organized. Of course, I have Swiss education, which we are people that are very organized and very square in some way, which is a good thing. But we also need, I love the Indian way, where we just, go with the flow and just do actions. Yeah, get on with it. Not just read and talk.
When you suggested these evenings and we started doing it, I saw it's really nice for both sides, and you called it Un médecin qui vous parle. I thought, wow, we have we have a special position, I think, the medical doctors, especially in COVID times. And but I think in general, doctors have something to say. And then I got inspired by what you did, and I created a platform, Doctors Talk, where I want to give a voice to doctors and others as well, like lawyers and teachers. But me being more the host and the one who does the interview with the people. So giving them a voice, because we have first-hand experience, like you have first-hand experience here in the restaurant, where you're in touch with people. And people share a lot with us.
Oh, yeah.
If you have an open heart and open-minded attitude, people just tell you so much. And I think during the COVID times, when people felt isolated, there was this particular need.
Actually, I used to come here, even though I knew that not many people were coming around. And but I thought, even if only 2 people come in the whole day, I want to be there, because I want to be there to serve this takeaway coffee, because there were some elderly people coming from another town, for example, coming around, and they just emptied their bag and started talking to me, and I make jokes and I smile and I, and try and make them happy somehow. And then this guy just said to me, oh, God, you don't know how this coffee is so great for me.
I think it's just fantastic that the number of great people I met here, and especially when you sit together and you really listen to them. We have had so many interesting people coming from different cultures
Yes.
and different professional backgrounds,
Yeah.
and they all have something to say.
Yeah.
It's worth listening to all of them. I think it has been really, really great. I learned a lot, and I enjoyed it a lot. And finally, to come back to the association, Human for Human. By the way, there is a big organization, I don't know if it still exists in Austria, which exactly the same title, Mention for Mention. And you created Human for Human. What motivated you to do that?
Well, actually, I at the beginning of all these restrictions and this trouble what I realize is that it has been difficult for so many people. Never mind where you're working, which position you're in, which decisions you must take. Because I do believe that some people, even in politics, had to do some things that they didn't really want to do, and had severe consequences on their lives, private lives and work lives. And although because of the sanitary situation that was presented to the whole population, we needed to meet. A screen isn't enough. We are humans. We need to keep in touch with one another. We need to see each other, and we need to share. We need to speak. We need to listen. We need to learn. And what shocked me very much is after a few months, I realized that some doctors were stopped from speaking in a very harsh way. And I thought there was something wrong about that, because we had a few years before the Charlie Hebdo, which was such a big thing, and where we promoted the freedom of speech. And all of a sudden, when I saw that some doctors were stopped, were banned from speaking, and I thought there's something wrong, and I don't agree with that. And I clearly do say that I don't agree. Either everybody speaks, or either nobody. And especially if we have people that have an important knowledge and background, and they know what they're talking about. And freedom means a lot of respect. We can't say things with no sense, but we need to hear, and we need to have the capacity to analyze what is going on, receive the information. Otherwise, I think internet has no point. There's no point in having it.
Well, thank you so much for supporting Dr. Stone. That's great. So if anybody is living here in the area of Villeneuve, Montreux, Aigle-les-Bains, this is a great place to come to eat. And
Very welcome.
It's the Grand Rue 90 in Villeneuve. Thank you so much, Brigitte. It's very interesting. I always love to come to eat, to listen, to meet, and sometimes I do some studying here.
Always nice to see you, Klaus.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.